Colorful Colorado, known for its breathtaking diverse landscapes and mountain culture. This is a place that many people dream of visiting. In this video, we take you to some of Colorado's most iconic places, show you things to do, give you some tips, and overall let you experience traveling with us. We've spent a year of our lives here, so we put together the perfect guide to help you plan your next trip. Since the majority of people fly into the Denver airport, our guide will start in the iconic city and capital, Denver.
So our first stop today, we're at Confluence Park with walking trails that people can walk on. It connects one side of the city to the downtown, and this is where we park. If you're looking for an area to park, this is a good place to do it. So let's start our adventure.
In the summer, this area comes alive with people swimming, kayaking, and tubing, and the park also has many activities and events. You can find miles of walking paths along the river, and it's also super easy to get downtown from here.
I wore the wrong jacket today. Like, this is not my thick jacket. My hands are so cold.
We're at Union Station, and this is the train station in Denver. There's a lot of cool shops and restaurants inside the actual train station, so you don't actually have to take the train to enjoy this cool place. So let's check it out.
So this was my #1 spot to see here in Denver. It's called a nickname of Denver's Living Room. I wanted to come here because I heard it was a cool hangout spot, and the architecture here is so beautiful. It's actually a little over 100 years old, and you can tell it's just so pretty here. About larger cities is walking around town and exploring by foot. Denver is one of the most walkable cities in the United States, with having sidewalks everywhere you can see. So this is the perfect place to explore.
So we're currently on 16th Street Mall. The bell tower that you guys see behind me is actually a replica of the one that's in Venice, and we should know because we were there for our honeymoon. So it's really cool to see things like that that's in America that we've seen internationally. So pretty neat. So 16th Street Mall is actually a pretty good sized road, and it has a bunch of shops, a bunch of restaurants alongside of it. There's actually a tramway that goes along with it as well. It's a really good place to check out if you're in downtown Denver.
All right, I caved in and got a coffee. My hands are so cold. That's the main reason. And I had like one sip of my coffee at home, so it was free.
Did a bad thing.
It wasn't that bad.
$30 worth of chocolate.
So we were just walking down the street, and then I smelled something really good, and Kristen was too busy recording something. I was like, let's stop. I stopped her, and we went into Killen's, which is like a chocolate little store that's cute, and we got a bunch of stuff that equaled about $35 worth of chocolate. So we got some truffles, some espresso beans. I don't honestly know. I just started picking stuff up from the counter because it looked so good. So.
We have a good variety.
Yep. So all the places that we visited today are along the 16th Street Mall. And if you want to follow our journey with the places we've been and all the things we're seeing, it's easy to follow our journey. So.
That's such a pretty cathedral. We're so close.
So what you guys just saw, that was the Denver Light Rail, and that's kind of one of the good means of transportation that's really cheap around this area for downtown Denver. And next, we're going to be seeing the giant blue bear, which has been on Kristen's bucket list since a year ago when we first came to Denver.
So this blue bear is located at the Colorado Convention Center. So if you're wanting to check it out like we are, then just Google that and it should take you right to the spot. So let's go check it out. Exploring the Rhino District here in Denver, and what Rhino stands for is River North. So I guess it's north of the river. I don't know. But what's really cool about this district here in Denver is that there's tons of murals all around the place. Everywhere you look, you see a mural. In the alleyways, on buildings. It's super fun, and they have a bunch of art galleries, art museums, so many things to do in this little area. So let's go explore it today.
Today we're going to be heading up the Denver Central Market. We're going to be checking it out. It's pretty early, so hopefully it's not too crowded right now. And then we're going to get y'all some cool shots of some murals that are around this area. So let's go check out Central Market. Just got a breakfast at the Denver Central Market. I got a cheese Danish, a blueberry Danish, and I think Kristen got a ham and cheese croissant, and then we got a macchiato with basically just a normal macchiato.
So some things about the Denver Central Market. As you can tell, we're in the Rhino District, so that's where it's located. We honestly parked on the street, and there's free 2-hour parking. I think we didn't see a pay to park sign, so we think it's free. But there's about, I think I read 11 little vendors in here. Some restaurants, most of them restaurants, little coffee shop, ice cream shop, a little seafood place.
Seafood market.
Yeah, seafood market and burger stop, pizza shop. So a really cool place to come get some local cuisines. What is this?
It's almost like Britney Spears meets Christina Aguilera.
I guess she's not sanitized.
So this mural is pretty interesting for two reasons. One, if you look at the mural from this side, you see a female. If you look at it from the other side, you see something different. So let's check it out and see what we can see. And so on the other side of the female mural, you get a boy.
Even the sidewalks are decorated. Super cool. So I love how there's like really big murals that are like really well thought out, and then you go down this alleyway and it's just like graffiti. I don't know, it's just pretty cool to me. You can see different styles of artists, and even all the artists sign their names on their paintings.
Just on the sketchy alleyway.
Hey, you gotta live some. It's okay. There was just a little mom and her little girl down here, so I felt safe.
And yeah, they quickly got off this alleyway.
They were literally running down the highway. I feel like each turn you can never go wrong because there's art down it.
There's murals literally every street.
Yeah, like if you're looking for some murals, just go in the general Rhino area district and you'll find it.
So if you didn't already know, Colorado is a very big state that's into beers as well as craft beers. And if you didn't know, Blue Moon was actually originated from this area of Denver. So it's pretty cool to find out. They have Chorus here, they have Blue Moon, and they have a lot of really good craft breweries around this area too.
The next spot we're checking out in Colorado is the little town of Golden and the nearby famous attraction, Rocks Amphitheater. These two are nestled in the foothills and are a very easy and quick drive from Denver.
So we are in one of our favorite towns called Golden, Colorado. It's at the base of the mountains. So many small shops and eateries and breweries to check out. So if you're looking at coming to town, there is free 2-hour parking. Just follow the main road and you'll see signs for parking and you'll see parking lots.
The little town of Golden is so charming and historic. It's definitely one of those cute mountain towns you won't want to miss. If you're into the gold rush history as well as shopping, this might be the most accessible town to explore if you're based in Denver.
The name Golden became popular from the Pikes Peak Gold Rush. And this town is actually popular because back in the day, when miners were here, they were actually farming and mining for gold. So it became a very popular destination, and that's why the city is, what it is today.
So where we are at now is called Golden History Park. And these buildings are original buildings from the city when it was first founded in. And it's super cool. That looks like they're kept up pretty nicely. And you can walk down these walking trails to see all the buildings that are still standing. Entrance into the park is free. Past the main street of Golden, you just walk down a couple of blocks and you'll see the park.
So this is the Clear Creek Trail that we're on currently. We're actually right by the water right now. And basically where we were just before with the little building is there's a bridge you cross. And on that bridge takes you to this paved trail. And off the paved trail you can actually come onto the creek when the conditions permit.
And we forgot to mention that Golden is the hometown of Gorge Brewery. So if you're a fan, that's one thing that you should check out.
It's also got a huge scene for craft breweries as well.
So we have made it to Rocks Amphitheater, and this is a natural amphitheater where the rocks amplifies the sound. So there's a lot of concerts here. It's such a cool place to check out. So it's a busy day here at Red Rocks. It's a Saturday, so if you're planning on being here during a weekday, I recommend go then. If you're not from the United States, this place is a hot spot tourist attraction in the country. So, sorry, I'm out of breath hiking upstairs. So just keep that in mind. So just a tip, if you're visiting, find an upper parking lot, because if you park in one of the lower parking lots, you have to hike all the way up. It is challenging.
I just checked my heart rate. It's 128, and I'm pretty much in shape for the most part.
So as for now, we're taking a short break, and then we're going to continue hiking up to the very top and get some views and check out the trails around the Red Rocks Amphitheater, and then we'll end our day. There is a museum here at Red Rocks. We went last year. I'm not sure if it's open, but I'll let you guys know in a second. It shows a bunch of people that have played here at Red Rocks, a bunch of famous people, and I just checked. It looks like it's closed. So we just found this spot. It's called the Red Rocks Trading Post. It's not the museum, but there's a little bit of memorabilia, like we said earlier, that the museum had, and there's souvenirs if you want to check some of that out. And there is an easy looking trail right by the Red Rocks Trading Post. It is gravel, doesn't look too difficult, so if you have small ones or people that can't hike very well, that's a good trail to check out.
Speaking of hiking in nature, the Colorado National Parks get so much hype, and we will show you those later in the video, but right now we are taking you to two amazing state parks near Denver that you can check out if you want something a little different.
We are at Chatfield State Park, and this place is very special and unique in the fact that it has its own beach / reservoir. So currently we're on waterside looking at the mountains, the snowy mountains, and behind us there's paved trails you can walk along or bicycle along. And it's a really neat place to visit on your free days.
This view, absolutely breathtaking. It's just like you get the best of both worlds. You get the little beach, you get the mountains. One of my favorite places for sure. And this is actually located in Littleton, which is like a 35-minute drive from Denver, or at least where we are in Denver. No skyline in sight. Very quiet place to come and hang out.
This is nice. I'm enjoying this. It's warming up for sure, and the wind's not as bad.
I mean, when you have that view, you can't complain.
I know, like, wow.
So this is a state park and there is an entrance fee. It's $10 to get in and it gets you a full 24 hours. So if you want to come like later the next day, within that 24 hours you're able to.
And there's actually a lot of things to do at Chatfield State Park. There's a lot of trails, bicycle or mountain biking trails, fishing, boating.
We saw horses here last year, and in the summertime people bring their tubes and swim out in these lakes and stuff. It's pretty cool. I think it gets pretty busy in the summertime.
The only thing it's missing is some alligators.
Oh, we've stumbled upon something interesting. What is this? It reminds me of when we went to Golden in those old houses. I bet.
The miners' houses?
Yeah, the miners' houses. I bet it has something to do with that. Yeah, it looks like the shelters from when they first developed this place. These are what the people stayed in, so yeah. Really cool. So we made it to our next destination. We're here at Roxborough State Park. This was actually recommended to us by Never Stop Adventuring. They're another YouTube channel, so check them out if you haven't. I'm glad that they recommended this place because I would have never found it on our own. We came from Chatfield State Park, and it was about a 15-minute drive. It's in the same city, and wow, this place is very, very unique. Oh man, gotta watch out for those rattlesnakes. I've never seen a rattlesnake in my life. Don't want to start now.
So we're about to head up the Fountain Valley Trail. This was the trail that was recommended because it wasn't too muddy, so let's check it out.
I really don't know why. I just got the urge to climb this right here. Like, I've never had the urge to climb any rock ever, but it just looks very climbable, like a rock wall.
And if you're feeling very adventurous, you should do both parks in the same day, Chatfield and Roxborough, because you'll get your exercise in, you'll see some really cool views. So
one thing I love about Colorado is you have the big mountains, but you also have like all these rock formations, like at Red Rocks, Garden of the Gods, and here, that are really cool to look at. They're just big sandstone rock formations that are really very unique. I mean, look how tall this one is. It's ginormous. Like, here's this. There's Sam. Wow.
I love how all the things that we've been finding on our trips in Colorado, Kansas, and Oklahoma have been places that we would not have expected. It's been random places and we've been finding the most amazing things. So note to self, travel because you will find yourself in unexpected places, discovering wonders.
The next few locations are around Colorado's second largest city called Colorado Springs.
We're here at Painted Minds Interpretive Park, and wow, is it unique, beautiful.
From another planet.
Yes, it looks like we stepped into another planet.
Or Kansas.
So a really neat fact about this place is that when the Native Americans settled here, they would get the rocks, get them wet, and use them as clay for their dishes and pottery. So I thought that was pretty cool, and just imagine how pretty the pottery was with all the pinks and the oranges and the browns. I bet they were so beautiful.
So basically, two things. One, it's very bright here and I can barely see you guys because I'm constantly squinting. Two, they make color bricks out of the clay here. So pretty neat.
So these rocks are very, very fragile, so they tell you not to touch them
and try to be safe when you're around them. Because if you'd see here, it's like chalk. It just kind of like comes off when it gets wet. It's like runoff. I bet over like millions of years, these things will be gone because they just disintegrate, it looks like. You can even see like the little crumbles of the chalky stuff. And like when we sat down, it was all over our pants. So really interesting. We're coming up on a pink rock. Wow. Let me show you guys. Very, very bright pink. It's like my favorite shade of pink. Paint Mines Interpretive Park is within an hour of Colorado Springs, so if you're basing yourself there, this is a great spot for a quick visit, but if you're in Denver, it's an hour-and-a-half drive.
So there's no admission fee to enter the park, and there's a lot of good walking trails that are easy, that are paved or gravel.
While on the topic of unique rock formations, this next place is located in Colorado Springs and is called the Garden of the Gods. It's one of the most popular spots in Colorado, and if you only have a little bit of time to explore, I would recommend this spot over the last two that we showed you, and you're about to see why.
So in 1909, the children of Charles Eliot Perkins actually donated the Garden of the Gods in regards to his last wishes that this be kept free to the public forever. So it's a pretty neat fact.
So what's really cool about Garden of the Gods is there's miles and miles of concrete walkways, so it's easily accessible for kids, older adults, and anybody in wheelchairs or that can't walk very well.
So the Garden of the Gods name is very unique, and it was inspired by two surveyors who founded the city of Colorado Springs. One saw this area and thought it'd be a great idea for a beer garden. And the other surveyor saw it and said this would be a place for the gods to assemble. So you have beer garden and a place for the gods, combining you get Garden of the Gods.
Something I love about Garden of the Gods is that you can see Pikes Peak right here, which is one of the mountains that are over 14,000 feet tall, and they're all called the 14ers in Colorado.
And it's actually right there.
Yeah, I was like, this is probably not right there.
Not pictured in this video is the Pikes Peak Cog Railway, which is the highest and longest cog railway in the world. Unfortunately, we haven't been able to ride it yet, but that is definitely something you need to do while you're here.
Because the nose of the dog is pointing towards the north, and then between those two evergreen trees is the floppy ear of the dog.
So we found ourselves on one of these side trails that aren't paved. It's just like dirt. Super, super beautiful. Gives you a different kind of view of the Garden of the Gods and of Pikes Peak.
As well as a wonderful smell.
Oh, because of those horses. Yeah, just watch where you step. Last time we came here, we just stuck to the main Garden of the Gods paved trails.
Yep.
Don't do that. Please come find these trails on the side.
Find the horse poop when you're in the right area.
Just an hour from Colorado Springs, our next highlight is called the Royal Gorge. If you're into checking off bucket list items, this one's for you, with it having some of America's highest attractions.
Today, we are on a really cool adventure. We spent a little money. We're here at the Royal Gorge, and we are doing a train ride through the gorge with a meal in a big glass dome, 2 hours on this train. So I'm so excited.
Yeah?
We splurged a bit.
This is located in Canyon City, Colorado, which is about 2 hours and 20 minutes south of Denver. So we got here pretty early, about 30 minutes to an hour early, and so yeah, we'll be boarding here in the next couple minutes, and then we'll be taking off.
Yeah, and unfortunately, we tried to do a zip line over the Gorge, which is America's highest zip line, but it's way too windy today, so they had to shut it down, so we won't be doing that. But we did book a ticket and walk over the bridge to see the views from the top, and wow, is it pretty cool.
We basically spent 25 bucks to walk across the bridge.
Yeah, 25 bucks each. It was $50, so either way, we'll have cool shots from above.
And today we're splurging because it's our anniversary, so.
Yeah.
Burgers, so let's eat.
Just finished our lunch. It was alright. Could have been better, but the drinks, wow. This is strong. Sam got a beer, so he's probably like, eh, but this is so good. And then we got a sweet tea, great as well.
And Arnie Palmer.
Arnie Palmer, yeah. So currently going through the gorge, super pretty. We just passed the bridge. Wow, this is cool. So we just passed these yurts. I thought about reserving them. They're like 200 something a night, at least when I was looking at them. They're super cool. A little bit overpriced. I decided not to do it because we're trying to stay on a budget. So we're gonna have a road trip, like a month road trip through Colorado and Utah, and then we're going to Mexico. So I had to cut back a little bit, but they're super cool. They're on their website if you're interested to book those.
So we ended up reserving the Vista Dome, and I gotta say it was worth the money because the views you get are incredible. But if you want better views, there is an observation deck, which from us it's about 2 cars walk. But the observation deck is breathtaking views. But I gotta say the Vista Dome is incredible for what you get for the money. And we ended up also paying for the meals, so you get your free entree. You also get a choice of a drink, whether it's coffee, we got tea, and so it's pretty nice.
Region offers endless Colorado outdoor fun and recreation opportunities for the whole family. The Arkansas River's 102 miles of gold medal fishing waters are a rich source of both rainbow and brown trout. This same stretch also boasts the most popular whitewater rafting in the United States.
Now that we've done the greater Colorado Springs area, let's go a bit north of Denver and see what northern Colorado is like. Today, we're diving into the heart of one of Colorado's most vibrant and stunning cities, Boulder. From breathtaking mountain views to an incredible local shopping and food scene, this place truly has it all. I'm at my first stop here in Boulder, Colorado. I've been wanting to come to the spot for many, many years, and it's such a unique place, but I'll tell you about it when we get in there. This is the Dushanbe Tea House. This stunning spot was gifted to Boulder by its sister city, Dushanbe, Tajikistan. The tea house has stunning tile work and a serene atmosphere. They crafted this tea house all the way in Tajikistan and sent it over to Boulder piece by piece. It's the perfect place to sip on a diverse selection of teas and enjoy a taste of global culture right here in Colorado. Oh, and I can't forget to say that it's a Michelin star restaurant, which is my first. Just finished at the Dushanbe Tea House. Oh my god, that was amazing. It was a lot better than I expected, and I'm so glad I decided to come because I almost didn't, because Boulder has, well, not Boulder, northern Colorado has a lot of wildfires going on right now, so it's a little hazy. I was a little bit nervous about coming over here because it's only a few miles from Boulder, but glad I did.
beside the tea house is the Boulder Creek Trail, and I would be aware because there's a lot of homeless people. Bikes can go along the trail too, so be careful of that. Very, very pretty creek. I know there's one spot with a waterfall I've seen before, but yeah, something really fun to do. We can finally see the mountains peeking out a little bit from the town. So I actually got a tea to go from the tea house, and it was super hot, so I let it sit in the car a while. I looked at the creek, but anyways, let's give it a try. I loved the tea in the tea house that I had. It was like a strawberry kiwi tea blend, but here we go. I like it, but it's a very mild flavor. Like, I don't know if you would be able to know that it was cinnamon unless you know, obviously saw it and ordered it, but I like it. I'm glad I got it to go because honestly, I could sit in that tea house for hours and hours and try all the teas, but you know, it was starting to get crowded. I wanted to give other people a chance to get in there, but yeah. So I'm about to head to Pearl Street Mall, which is the shopping downtown area of Boulder. I've also been wanting to come here for many years. Anyways, the parking there is on the street, or there's a parking garage, which I'm really nervous in this truck because I'm not so good at parking, so I may just walk from the team house. It's not that far, so you know what? I think I'm gonna do that. If you're into hiking, the Boulder Flatirons are one of the most popular spots to hike in Colorado. And I've done that before. It's actually really cool over there, but it's a more moderate to difficulty level hiking. So not doing that today, but just wanted to mention that because that's one of the most popular things to do around here. As you can see, the town's cute and quaint, lots of shops, and they have boulders for Boulder. Oh, look at the mountain. Is that the mountain? Oh, that's so cool. Anyway, one thing I love about Boulder is a lot of the downtown buildings are red, and whenever you drive through here from Denver, you see like an overview of the city, and it looks really cool in my opinion. So I'm here at El Dorado Canyon State Park, which is a few miles west, I think, of Boulder. I love hiking, but it's a really hot day, so I think I'm just going to be driving through the canyon and getting all the views, maybe pulling off on some stops. Yeah, so let's see what we can get up to around here without hiking. So it's a little sketchy because the road's not very big for two cars to go, like one each way. But I did find a little parking spot and a nice little waterfall here. I just stopped off here at the visitor center, and there's a beautiful creek I'm gonna come check out. On Saturdays, Sundays, and holidays, they have a timed reservation system, but on weekdays you can pay up at the kiosk $10 per truck. So the canyon is pretty short in my opinion, although I'm only in the inner canyon. I think there's another part of the park that you can access. I'm not really sure how to get there, and looking at the map it looks like most of it is accessible only by trail, so you'd have to do a lot of hiking, but otherwise this canyon was really, really cool, and I do recommend come on a cool day on the weekend. You can do some hikes and it would be beautiful. Fort Collins, Colorado's fourth largest city. Known for its historic old town, its many breweries, and the home of Colorado State University. We're in Old Town Fort Collins today, one of our favorite places in the entire city. There's so many shops, breweries, all kinds of stuff you can do around here, so let's go have a fun day. Today we're going to Blue Agave Mexican Grill, loosely Mexican because there's like other stuff as well. But yeah, I've heard a lot of good things about this place. Let's go check it out. Cheers. Blue Agave, 10-10, would recommend.
We had the assortment of tacos in the blue agave margaritas for happy hour all day Tuesdays. Definitely go during happy hour because they have so many drinks and food that you can choose from. I rarely buy clothing, but I bought something today. 4 things, but 3 outfits. Sam had to point it out to me. She's like, you need more clothes. Today I'm at Horsetooth Falls Loop Trail. This is in the Horsetooth Reservoir right outside of Fort Collins. I'm super excited because I haven't been hiking in, I don't even know how long, 1.5 years. So I got my hiking boots on, I got my backpack. Should be a pretty relatively short hike, about 1.5 hours. I think it's 3 miles, so let's go see what it's all about. Another popular hike in Fort Collins is called Arthur's Rock Trail. This is a moderate hike with a great view. I really think that I liked this one more than the Horsetooth Falls Loop if you're looking for some of the best views of Fort Collins and the surrounding areas. This hike is located in Laurie State Park, and you do have to pay an entrance fee when entering the park. So if you've been to any Colorado town, you may notice a lot of breweries, and that's no exception for Fort Collins. Actually, the U.S.'s 4th largest brewery is here in Fort Collins, and it's called New Belgium Brewery. You may go on a tour if it's not too packed, and it looks pretty packed. But either way, we'll have a beer or two and, you know, try it out.
We just finished our New Belgium tour, and the tour itself is free, and it comes with a beer for each person for free, and you also get 2 mini vouchers for 2 additional mini beers.
Yep.
So the only beers that we've actually paid for is this beer and the seltzer.
I got a seltzer. I don't know what he got. IPA?
No.
Oh.
Triple.
Triple, whatever that is. But it was a fun tour, I think. And they have food trucks on certain days, and today, oh my god, we came at the perfect time. It's poke and sushi.
It's a lot of toppings for a poke. A lot of toppings. All you need is rice and fish seasoned with a little bit of sauce and some seasonings, and that's all you need. Corn.
I'm sure it's good though. It's got corn on it?
Yeah.
You're kidding. Oh, it does, yeah. Oh, it looks good though. Fort Collins in the summer, 10 out of 10. Fort Collins in the winter, might as well not come unless it's summer. Like, there's so much to do, hiking, outdoor breweries, all that kind of stuff. I was actually kind of bored in the winter. Taking a scenic drive up to the Poudre Canyon, and we have a little visitor with us. Say hi. Poudre Canyon is about 20 minutes drive from downtown Fort Collins, and it takes you 60 miles along the Cache la Poudre River. The river is Colorado's only nationally designated wild and scenic river. This means that the river holds the strongest form of protection to preserve the natural, cultural, and recreational values. Indigenous Americans lived along the river for thousands of years. It was occupied by the Northern Arapaho tribe, who were sadly forced out of this area to resume life in Wyoming. Although this area does have a sad past, it's great that it's now protected to help preserve this natural beauty. So we drove about an hour into the canyon, but you can go for hours and hours and hours. It's So we're gonna turn back and head back to the city. Can't believe it took us this long to get up in here. Well, it's been winter, so, you know, I think the road was closed for a while, but it's so fun. We're at the Horsetooth Reservoir today, and we're gonna be swimming. Maybe not, because it's pretty cold. We have some friends with us. Hey! That's awesome. It took us a while to figure out where the swimming area was. There's actually a bunch of swimming areas, but
You probably went to the ugliest one possible.
maybe, I don't know. On the pictures it looks like a beautiful sandy beach, but here
This is not the right spot yet.
it's a little bit rocky. But anyways, we're at the South Bay Campground. You go all the way you can possibly go, follow the signs to the swimming area, and then you have to walk on a little trail to find this beach. And it's not too bad, but there might be some sandier, prettier beaches along the reservoir. I mean, it's a huge, huge area. Beautiful day.
Here in Colorado, it's like dry heat, so it's been like 100+ degrees, but I think back home in Texas, it was worse than that. So.
But it's humid back home. Here it's
Yeah.
dry and it feels better, I'm not gonna lie.
It does.
Than back home.
Back home, you hang your towel up after you take a shower and it's still wet in the afternoon. Here, you hang it up, it's dry by 10 a.m.
And our place that we just moved to doesn't have an air conditioner, so.
Feels like we're back in Europe.
Right now we're headed to Larimer County Farmers Market, which is the oldest farmers market here in northern Colorado. I hear a lot of good things, and we want coffee and some other goods that we can find. We got a lot of stuff at the farmers market. I'll have to show you what we got in a minute, but this farmer's market's located in Old Town. And I forgot to say a fun fact about Old Town earlier, is that Disney's Main Street USA was inspired by Old Town because one of the Imagineers used to live here. Got some coffee. Horchata cold brew is what that was. We were told the thing to get at the farmer's market is peaches, so we got a large bag of those, a small bag of cherries, 2 soaps. Soaps are my favorite thing. Chocolate chip and banana blueberry muffin. Habanero, orange, lime, cilantro, green onion salsa. Look at this thick burrito Sam got. Steak and potato. In the summer and early fall, CSU has their annual flower trial garden where you can go and see the plants that the students are testing in the unique Rocky Mountain environment. There are over 1,000 different plant varieties to see each year, and believe it or not, this is one of the most visited sites in all of northern Colorado. It wouldn't be a video about Fort Collins if I didn't at least mention that Rocky Mountain National Park is about an hour drive to the front of the park, as well as Estes Park is about an hour. But if you want to go further into the park, it's about 30 minutes to like all the good stuff. So Fort Collins can be a base for you if you're wanting to travel to Rocky Mountain National Park. We just drove down Trail Ridge Road recently in the park, and we were there in July, and it started snowing at the Alpine Visitor Center. So that was a really interesting thing to see, and oh my gosh, it was beautiful. That might be my new favorite part of Rocky Mountain National Park. And it's only open for a few months of the year. Now that we're on the topic of Rocky Mountain National Park, let's dive a bit deeper into the park and let me show you some of the most popular spots as well as my favorite hiking trails. If you're here on a snowy month and are a moderately experienced hiker, I highly recommend this next trail called the Deer Mountain Trail. The reason I say to do this one in the snow is because the snow coverage is what helps make this trail one of the most scenic in the park. Comparing my visit in the snow versus pictures of the same trail in the summer is drastically different, so let me show you some highlights and a bit more information about this trail.
This trailhead is about 6 miles total long. Should be a fun day.
These views, we just started the trail and it's absolutely stunning.
Gloves are a must. Micro spikes are a must. I don't see how some of these people are doing it without. So this hike we're going through a lot of, it's like you go in the forest like with a bunch of trees, and then you come out to this big overlook of the mountains. This is a really cool trail. I would say it's about moderate difficulty, maybe even hard if you add the snow into it, but I'm not sure how many miles in we are. No idea, but we're gonna make it. We're gonna get to the top of the mountain. We can tell we're getting close to the top. We're seeing amazing views. It's starting to get more crowded, so we know that's usually towards the end. The beginning and the end is when the trails get more crowded, we notice, so we're almost there. Wow, look at these views. So amazing. It's a little foggy, looks a bit eerie, but...
And it's a long way down.
Yeah, we have to go all the way back down. In our cliff bars with a view. The top of the mountain, we looked it up, it was 10,000 feet from where we were. I think the peak top is like 11,000 feet. So wow, we hiked a long way. Once we get down to the bottom, we're gonna see what that elevation is and see what our gain was. All right, Sam, 0 to 10, what would you rate the hike?
Like funness or hardness?
Fun, like experience, like funness.
Experience? Like 8 or 9 out of 10.
I was gonna say 8, yeah. But very beautiful. If you can't get to Bear Lake and do like the Emerald Lake and all the lakes over there, which are the more popular hikes, then come to this one. I recommend.
We were literally just hiking up that mountain. Yeah.
Wow.
Definitely a lot easier going down versus going up. But the view up there is insane how good it is.
Now let me show you the most popular hike in the park, and it's definitely popular for a reason.
Doing my favorite hike I've ever done in the entire world and my favorite national park we've ever been to.
Emerald Lake Hike starts off at Bear Lake Trailhead. It's an out and back moderate hike, a little under 3 miles, with a 712-foot elevation gain. Now that we know a little bit about the stats, let's get started.
We're at the Bear Lake Trailhead. It's been 4 years since I've done this hike. I'm so excited. We got our micro spikes on. The trail is very snowy still.
We are obviously doing this trail with still a bit of snow cover, but I would highly recommend to do this one sometime in the summer to get the full experience of the color of the lakes and the beautiful greenery.
Parts of the trail are not snowy, so we decided to take our micro spikes off. But I'm sure we're gonna have to put them on soon.
About half a mile in, you'll reach your first lake of the hike called Nymph Lake.
Poor Sam went the wrong way. Stepped in a lake.
It's fine,
Glad it was him and not me. Oh my gosh, it's amazing.
On this day, 90% of the hike was covered in snow, making it either a bit difficult to follow the correct trail or a little bit slippery with the elevation gain. So, I would recommend downloading the All Trails app to help you navigate this trail when it's snow covered.
Look how awesome. We're passing Dream Lake right here. And our next stop is Emerald Lake, which is the end of the hike. And we turn back around, so we're nearly there.
There's a skier up there. Look how crazy that is. It's 11 o'clock and this hike is getting so crowded. Be prepared with microspikes unless you're here in like July and August. I don't know how these people do it without. I say that, but then the first time we hiked this, we didn't have microspikes either. So this is Bear Lake. It's already melted. Last time we were here, I made a snow angel, like right around there. Now let me show you an alternative hike you can do if you want to add on to the Emerald Lake hike. When you hit Dream Lake, you've split off Lake Hyea, and the other way is Emerald Lake. I've never been this way before, and pretty much the snow is all melted here. And I'm so excited to see Lake Hyea because it's a really pretty, like emerald turquoise color, I guess. The hike to Hyea is a very short hike from the turnoff, but it does involve a bit of rock scrambling before you hit the beautiful turquoise lake. If you want to go a bit further, you can tack on the hike to Mills Lake, and I would highly recommend you do so. After Mills Lake, you can start the trek back to Bear Lake Trailhead, passing by the beautiful Alberta Falls. Altogether, you can find this hike on the All Trails app called Dream, Emerald, Hyea, and Mills Lake Hike via Glacier Gorge Loop. If you did the entire hike, it's 9.2 miles, 1,561 feet elevation gain, and 4 hours and 16 minutes long. Rocky Mountain National Park is huge and there are so many more hikes and things to do here, but for the sake of this video, I just wanted to mention some of the top hikes and popular things for you to do. The park requires park reservations during peak season, so please visit the National Park website for more information. Now, let's move on to the town that sits right outside of the park and maybe somewhere that you will want to explore.
Estes Park is the town right outside of Rocky Mountain National Park, and I haven't explored the city yet, so I'm super excited to explore. This is one of the most beautiful cities I've ever seen.
They have these little, what are they called? Xylophones? Alright, so first things first, I just got some coffee from Kind Coffee and a coffee cake. And this is just coffee with milk, nothing fancy. And yeah, so I'm right here sitting out by the river. I'm on the river walk. There's a bunch of shops and restaurants down here. So super pretty, perfect place to have my breakfast. I'm currently walking down the river walk. I think it's about 2 miles from what I saw from the sign. Super, super calm. I ate my breakfast on the bench and you could just hear just the water running through the rocks on the river. It was so beautiful. So excited to have a fun day today. Like I said, nothing planned. Just gonna explore the city today, and I do want to hit up the Stanley Hotel, so we'll do that at some point. So this city is seriously breathtaking. You're surrounded by mountains on all sides. It's like the city's nestled in the middle of the mountains in the valley. Everywhere you look, it's a beautiful, beautiful sight. So I think this part is technically downtown, so let's explore it a little bit. There's some cool shops I may check out. I did see a tea shop earlier, so we may go in there as well. And yeah, let's go. Recommend checking out downtown. It's so cute. There's a bunch of souvenir shops, which, don't get me wrong, I love souvenirs, but there's a ton of those shops. There's cute little like jewelry shops, all kinds of pubs and eateries and all kinds of cute little things for you to check out here. So my favorite one, I think, is a shop called Cabin Fever. And when you think of Colorado souvenirs, that's what you think of. A little bit about this place. It was built in 1909 by F.O. Stanley, and him and his wife came here on vacation, and he was really weak from like alcoholism, and he was so inspired by this place that he got better, and he decided to build this hotel eventually. So he built this hotel in 1909. That's when the first guests came in. And this hotel is very famous because it inspired an American author to write this book called The Shining. And it was written by Stephen King. So he stayed in one of the rooms and decided to write the book here. And this is also the location that Dumb and Dumber was filmed at. So really historic place. When he built it in 1909, it was one of the grandest hotels in the area, and it really still is. And the views are amazing, and it just has a great history. So let's go see it. So I just finished touring the hotel. Super beautiful. It still has that old-timey early 1900s feel. There's a lot of artifacts from that time and even like mementos from like when they filmed the movie Dumb and Dumber here. Super cool. You can go in and tour the lobby for free and then go downstairs and there's a couple more things that you can see. I don't think you're allowed upstairs. There's a sign, so I didn't go up there. And I'm also right now touring the grounds. Beautiful gardens here. Wow. This place is super cool. They do have tours that you can book, ghost tours, night tours, and just telling you about the history. I almost did that today. I decided not to, but by the time I got here, they were all booked up anyway, so maybe next time. We're close enough we can come back anyway, and we may do a tour later. Oh, also, parking is free as of now. I think seasonal, they do charge you like in the summer months when it's more touristy, but we're currently here in April and there's not many tourists, so they're not charging for parking. So there's literally a maze right in front of this hotel. I'm already lost. I'm trying to find the statue that's in the middle. Oh, you know what? I think I found it. So this is the guy that developed the hotel. F.O. Stanley. All right, you have to do the maze for sure. It looks easier than it really is. Wow, so this lookout at the Stanley Hotel, you get like a 360 view of the mountains. So pretty. I believe that's the Rocky Mountain National Park here. Absolutely stunning. So I think I heard somewhere that the guy who developed the hotel, him and his brother developed the Stanley Steamer as well. That's why it's called the Stanley Steamer. All right, so I think our next stop will be Lake Estes. Walking around Lake Estes. Such a pretty day. Perfect weather. I'm having the greatest time. There is a really good paved trail for you to walk along. And wow, this is amazing. I don't know if I'm gonna walk around the whole lake. It doesn't look that big, but you never know. One of the many reasons people visit Colorado is to ski or snowboard at one of Colorado's many ski resorts. These resorts are not all the same and have very different vibes than one another. Aspen and Vail, for example, are very luxurious resorts and come with a high price tag. On the other hand, a resort like Arapahoe Basin can be a bit difficult to get to and has advanced slopes. There are so many resorts that we could deep dive into, but the one I want to highlight here is Breckenridge. Breckenridge is probably the most beloved and best all around. Breckenridge is known to not only have great slopes, but a lot of things to do in the area. You can explore the cute historic downtown district for some shopping and dining, and you can even hunt down the troll. But my favorite thing we did when we visited was dog sledding, and these little guys love it as well.
Here we go!
Yeah, help them out.
I'm helping them. Got it. This is a steep uphill. Last run. On the home stretch.
And have our left foot on the brake right here. Go a little bit downhill and then we'll stop. So leading a little right here. Perfect.
Oh, we're done. Bye, babies. Bye, babies. Bye, my friends. Goodbye. Oh, you want belly rubs? You want belly rubs? Yeah.
So our dog sledding adventure is over. That was so fun.
It definitely surprised me because when I first saw it, it looked like boring, and then when we got here, they were like taking off, and I was like, okay, this is gonna be super sketchy.
Yeah.
But it was super chill. It was a group of 6 of us, and we each person got to drive the sled twice. So we got to do uphill, downhill, some turns, and it was really, really cool.
So fun. And we booked this with Good Times Adventures in
Right.
Breckenridge,
Highly
Colorado.
recommend them.
Highly recommend. Also, if you're not into dog sledding, they have snowmobiling, horse and carriage. There was a Clydesdale horse going through. I'm sure they have some other things
And
too.
pro
but-
tip, bring cash because you will not have any cell phone service up here, and you do want to tip these people because they work hard and they're so polite and helpful.
Yes,
So.
we had an awesome time. Highly recommend.
If you aren't into skiing or snowboarding, you may want to think about snow tubing. That's where you hop on a tube and slide down a hill. Copper Mountain has a really great one, and overall I liked skiing here, but it's a pretty pricey resort. I'm not the biggest lover of hitting the slopes like Sam is, so I often go for doing things like snow tubing. Copper Mountain also has a cute village too. When I'm a bit chilly from hitting the slopes or spending a bit of time in the Colorado winters, my thoughts automatically think of the many hot springs that Colorado has. I wanted to show you one of the most popular in Colorado, and it's for those looking for a more luxurious experience.
Yesterday, there was sun and there was rain, beauty in the mundane.
Hey everyone, so this morning we're at Pagosa Springs. We ended up getting the day pass, so we're currently sitting in one of the hot springs here. Temperatures are actually very comfortable. They range from pretty mild to around mid 80 degree Fahrenheit, all the way up to basically a boiling pot of water up to like 120 degrees Fahrenheit. So it's pretty good. We came early because everyone was telling us it can get pretty crowded, but it is kind of off season right now. So it's not too crowded. Parking was really easy. Walked right in with the reservation.
The Springs Resort and Spa in Pagosa Springs not only has the day pass, but you can book many different packages as well as stay at the beautiful resort. They have a lot going on here year-round with many events and experiences. As of filming this, the day pass that we booked is $65 per adult.
Pagosa Springs, it's pretty, I'd say evenly spaced out. You don't feel overly crowded. They actually have a limit for the amount of people that are allowed in the actual spring area per day, and you have to have this wristband to be allowed in. So when we first came in, we got a wristband. You kind of do your own thing. If you want to just hop around different springs for the different temperatures, you can. If you want to sit in the sun and kind of enjoy yourself, if you want to get in the water, you can. We've actually been seeing a couple of people actually kind of kayaking and kind of tubing around with guides and stuff. So that's also options if you don't want to just sit here and kind of drink and go hop to different springs. For the springs, I would say there's a huge difference between like the 80 degrees and like the 115 degrees. Like the 80 degrees feels like kind of cold water, and the cold water feels like freezing water. So there's a good variety for you to do here while you're at Pagosa Springs.
Look what I got.
Try that.
How'd you get two?
She made extra.
Sam's enjoying himself.
Yep.
Super close up.
It's 12:43. We're going to lunch. Hopefully fish and chips.
Hopefully. So I got a double meat cheeseburger, and Kristen got a 3-piece chicken tender meal. That's about 15 to 20 bucks, so it's not too bad for a resort. I also got a beautiful IPA. Kristen's still working on her pina colada /
Blue Hawaiian / whatever it is.
/ whatever it is from earlier. So, cheers, guys.
Before you head out of Pagosa Springs, you have to hit the next spot for a quick waterfall hike because it's one of the most impressive in the state.
Hello everybody, I am here at Treasure Falls. We have a little bit of time before we can check into our next place. So we decided to come here to waste some time, and this place is just a short drive from the city center of Pagosa Springs, so can't wait to check it out. So there is a short trail to hike up to the falls. It is about 0.6 miles round trip from what we saw on all trails. So that's what I'm doing now. It's a pretty steep trail, as you can tell. So in just a couple minutes, we'll be at the falls. In the distance. These trails are a bit confusing. There's several. I don't know which one will get me to the right place. Oh, we're so close, we're getting wet. That was literally so cool.
Now that we're a bit warmer, let's explore the rest of Colorado's national parks. Colorado has 4 national parks. The first you already saw, and in my opinion, the more impressive. But let's dive deep into the one that you may not think of when you have thoughts of Colorado.
Welcome to Great Sand Dunes National Park.
This is our second national park that we have visited here in Colorado, and the plan is to visit all of them. So we just got here. We had to hike across the creek. I'm not sure if that was the best idea or not, or if that's even the way to do it. We made it to the park trying to navigate the creek to get to the sand dunes.
Just jump it?
Just jump it.
Yeah. There's not really a great way of doing that.
No. So we rented our sandboards and sled at the Great Sand Dunes Oasis, a store right outside the entrance of the park. They were $20 each, so we paid about $40 something for both of them. So if you're not wanting to hike, which is a hard task here at the sand dunes, then this is a great thing to do here at the park. Sam is booking it to the dunes. He's so ready to board. But wow, look at these views. So crazy. I love the contrast between the dunes And the mountains here, so beautiful.
Okay, that's completely different than snowboarding. It feels way different because I was even trying to like turn and stuff, and it's different.
So we just finished having fun on our boards. We're gonna attempt to hike up one of the tallest dunes in the park. And actually, these sand dunes are actually the tallest sand dunes in North America. So we have a big challenge up our sleeve. Let's get on with it. So we got to the park right at 8, and there's literally hardly anybody here. There were a couple of cars in the parking lot, but not like what you expect at a national park. So get here early and you'll have the whole sand dunes pretty much to yourself. So we really don't want to go back to the car to put up our boards, so we're gonna hike with our boards. Maybe a bad idea, but let's do it. We made it up our first big dune. That was so difficult. We made it. Look at those views. And we thought those little dunes down there were hard. This is how much sand your shoes will have from hiking high dune and back. You ready for this? Look at this one. This one feels more full, honestly. It's like every step I took, especially on the hike down, you felt sand coming in. Look, it's just pouring out. That's like the whole shoe. Sam's going for another run on the board.
After a long day on the hot sand, it sure feels good to get your feet in the cold water.
Yeah, it does.
We are hoping to visit the Great Sand Dunes again at night to watch stars, because I heard it's one of the best places to watch the stars, so you'll see that next. Doing a national park road trip in Colorado was super fun, and I highly recommend doing so because all of them are so different from one another. From Great Sand Dunes, the next likely park you would go to is Mesa Verde National Park, that we will dive into next.
Welcome to Mesa Verde National Park. So we have been driving on the Mesa Loop Trail. What you do is you drive down the road and then you stop off on each of the overlooks and the trails to see all the cliff dwellings and houses and stuff. So right now we are on the Pueblos and Pit Houses Trail. Hopefully we'll be able to see something from this one, so let's check it out. So this is one of the pit houses here. It's saying that this was the first one that seemed to have been destroyed by fire, and then they built this one here as a replacement. And yeah, look how cool that is. I guess it's called a pit house because it's in a pit. So those of you who have not heard of Mesa Verde, because I know I didn't before I even came to Colorado and started looking at all the national parks, the main attractions here are the Native American houses that are here like in the cliffs and stuff. Also the views and the scenery is beautiful as well. And then I heard that there's like no recollection of what happened to the people that lived here. It just seemed like they got up and left one day. And yeah, so it's well preserved. It's crazy how these things last over time and they're still here, so that's pretty crazy.
Currently in the village of the Pueblo people. It's pretty neat just looking at the different styles of buildings that they used to create from the different years that they lived in the area.
Just imagine the work it took to build all this, like the digging and all the like handmade stuff that they did. It's so crazy. And just think about the tools they had, like rocks, stones, sticks, literally all they had to make the houses that they live in. Oh, I can't imagine.
So behind me in this huge canyon, there's a huge lookout where you can see the different types of villages, and there's even a magnifying lens where you can see the different actual houses that they have. And for one instance, there's a cave over there if you can look at it, and inside that cave you can actually see a miniature building from what we just saw earlier. They would kind of incorporate those building structures, move them closer to the sources of water or food, whatever they had, and they'd build their houses and kind of live in communities in that area. So it's pretty neat. All their houses are built inside the actual cave and canyon to kind of give them more protection and more defensive structures.
Look, we found one up close. A big, huge one. This is called the Sun Temple. How cool is that? You see anything?
I'm stuck.
You see anything?
Yeah, walls. Stone walls, clay walls, dirt walls, yep.
They're not really sure exactly what this building was for, but there was evidence that there was no roof on top of it, so they're thinking it was built for celestial observations. There's the Cliff Palace here. This is, I think it's the biggest one in the park. So I feel like you can say this about all national parks. Get here early. We got into the park, probably the park entrance at 8. It does take a little bit drive to get to the cliff dwelling sites, but we made the whole loop probably in about an hour, and we saw maybe like 3 people the whole way we were here, 3, 4, 5 people. And like I said, we missed the very first stop, so we just went back around, and now it's so much busier. At each stop you have like at least 5 people, and we basically had the whole loop to ourselves. So definitely get here early if you want to be one of the only ones in the popular sites. So we are braving the Petroglyph Point Trail. It's 2.4 miles and about 2 hours long, and it'll take us through this little canyon where we can see the cool little petroglyphs. So that's what we're doing now. We just started the trail. Don't do this trail if you're claustrophobic, guys. This is already my favorite hike, and we're not even halfway through it. Like, so cool.
What a view from our trail. I know I keep saying that.
There's almost like mushrooms up there.
Mushrooms?
Clay colored rock.
Oh, yeah.
I like mushrooms.
Right there.
I guess I'm hungry.
We have our lunches. Found the cave. Look how awesome. This would be a good spot for lunch. Lunch?
Sure.
We found the petroglyphs. Look how freaking cool.
Look at handprints.
Handprints. Oh yeah. Wow. Look, museum. Somehow we have to cross this.
It's supposed to get kind of sketch.
Yeah, I'm gonna put the camera up. See you in a minute.
Okay, that sketchy area wasn't as sketchy as we thought. It was like so short, and now we're back on like a rock paved trail. Should be an easy hike from here. It's about a mile left back to where we started, and yeah. Statistics for this hike, I say it's probably moderate. You probably should have some type of hiking experience before you do it, because there was like 1 or 2 rock climbing, not like a big rock climbing, but like you had to hop over some rocks, and they were literally walking on the cliff the whole time. So if your knees are bad, if you can't walk well,
if you can't lift your leg up, you know, to a ledge and pull yourself up,
yeah,
maybe not for you.
Right. So yeah, I'd say probably moderate. It's not the hardest hike we've ever done.
I think we only gained about a total of 700 or 800 feet in elevation from the bottom of it when we started, so it's not too hard of a hike.
No, but I think this was my favorite hike. We have done, it's very close to the, what's it called? Emerald Lake hike at Rocky Mountain.
I still like the Deer Mountain Trail was my favorite.
Really? Wow. But we have a lot more hikes to go, so we'll see if this is the reigning winner. But yeah, the petroglyphs were just that one panel that you guys saw. It'd be really cool if there was a lot more, but I think it was definitely worth the hike. Just the views was worth the hike, so.
Road tripping from Mesa Verde to the next national park, Black Canyon of the Gunnison, you will pass some of the most beautiful parts of Colorado, like the towns of Telluride and Ouray. Ouray has the nickname of the Switzerland of America because of how beautiful the mountains are here. It is worth your time to stop here for a night or two, but unfortunately, I've never had the chance to explore too much of this area. Maybe next time. So next, let's visit our last stop of this video, Black Canyon of the Gunnison.
We are at the Black Canyon of the Gunnison. I think our plan is we're gonna drive down South Rim. On the road, there's different pull-offs that you can go and see canyon at an overlook. I heard some of them, there's a little bit of a tiny bit of a hike just to get to the rim. So we're pulling off to our first pull-off. This is our first look at the canyon, and from the car, it looks crazy. So let's go check it out.
It looks like essentially we're going to be driving on this red road. It's paved all along the different lookouts and points, and we're going to stop at each one and kind of show you the different vantage points that you get from each of the different stops.
We are at our next lookout, and we're the only ones here, except a car's coming. I bet they're gonna pull off, so we only have it for a second to ourselves. This would be such a cool place to eat your lunch or breakfast. Look at Sam. How's the view?
Pretty good.
And the weather is so perfect today. Not hot, not cold. Of course, it's only 9 a.m., so it may get warmer throughout the day. And you can hear the birds just chirping away. So peaceful. I'm already liking this park because you don't have to do much work to see the pretty views.
You know what I was thinking? It doesn't get much better than this for a view. I'm like 10 feet from the edge.
We've now made it to the lookout rock point, and Sam's not going to do this one because he's kind of terrified and it doesn't look like there's any guardrails, so it's just going to be me. I'm going to play it safe though. So neat.
Right now we're about to walk up to the infamous painted wall. So we just learned the height of the canyon ranges from 1,750 feet to 2,700 feet. And as well, at 2,300 feet, the painted wall is the highest cliff in Colorado.
Is one of those places that I can go back time and time again and find something new to explore. So all that to say, this guide is not every single highlight in the entire state, but I think it's close enough. Are you loving these travel guides? Click on the next one to discover your next trip.